This is Soldier Jack. Actually, just the last part of Soldier Jack. The last Jack tale of all. A whole bunch of adventures have led Jack to this point near the end, where he's just saved the life of the king's daughter by using a magic sack to catch Death himself. Jack took that sack with Death in it back to his farm, got a boy to take it up to the tallest poplar tree on his farm and tie it up good. After that, Jack just went back to farming. He liked living on his farm. He liked working there. Boys would go up as the years went by, go off, get married. Other ones he'd hire. It worked out all right. He liked keeping track of what day of the week it was, so he knew when it was Sunday, he didn't need to work. He kept up with the seasons. And he just sort of noticed his hair changed color and his beard grew longer and longer. He didn't really keep track of what year it was. Eventually, though, by and by, he thought it might be nice to pay a village visit, go down to the settlement and see how people were doing. So he set off, kind of whistling towards town. And as he was walking there, he saw an old woman coming towards him. Jack stopped. She was the oldest woman he'd ever seen. Her skin was so leathery and wrinkled, it was terrible to look at. Her eyes were set way back in her face, and her hair was so wispy it was almost gone. She was so stooped over, her nose almost touched her knees. Jack called out, "How to do, Granny?" She started trying to straighten up. Her knees were creaking and her head shaking like palsy until she could finally see Jack. "How to do, sonny?" "Well, how are you, Granny?" "Oh, Lord, it's terrible." "Why, what's the matter, Granny?" "Being this old, that's what it is." "Well, yes, ma'am, you do look sort of old like. How old are you?" "Next June, on the 12th day of the month, I'll be 206 years old." "Goodness gracious, I never heard of anybody being that old, Granny." It ain't good being this old and not being able to die." "You mean you want to die, Granny?" "Oh, Lord, yes." "Why can't you die?" "Ain't you heard? Some fool's got Death shut up in a sack. Ain't nobody died around here for 142 years. That's against nature, ain't it?" Jack turned around right there and headed back to his farm. He sat down in that rocking chair. For 3 days, he rocked. At the end of that day, he got a boy from the farm, sent him up that tall poplar tree, told him to cut that sack free and bring it down. He handed Jack one off. Jack pulled out his knife, cut open the sack, and let Death out. Death immediately started killing everybody he hadn't been able to kill for 142 years. And the first one he killed was Jack.